this is Clinton Jeff, and these are the Sony XB900N. Alright, in case you've been keeping a watch or a listen on the whole noise cancelling headphone scene, you probably heard the news. Sony makes one of the best noise cancelling headphones in the business right now. In fact, if you ask most tech people nowadays what's the best pair of noise cancelling headphones out there, they'll either recommend the Bose Quiet Comfort series or they'll recommend the Sony 1000XM series. The 1000XM series are Sony's line of flagship noise cancelling headphones. And flagship noise cancelling headphones tend to cost quite a premium and they're totally worth the price for sure. But not everyone can afford super premium headphones, right guys? That's why I was really excited to see Sony announce the XB900N recently. The XB900N, or the 900N as we'll be calling it for the rest of this review, are a much more approachable pair of noise cancelling headphones. So while they probably won't have the same level of noise cancellation as the much more premium XM3, there's still a lot to like here, especially at this price point. So yeah, let's get started with the review. I'm going to divide this review into 4 parts, starting with design and features, comfort, sound quality, and battery life, right before we talk about the verdict. Alright, let's start with design. The 900N actually shares a lot of design similarities with the much more premium XM3. This is a good thing because the headphones actually look a lot more expensive than they are. The exterior is mostly hard plastic, but the headband has a very nice foam padding on the underside. There's also a tiny NFC logo on the left ear cup. This is actually really convenient because you can just tap a compatible Android phone to pair it with these headphones. Apart from that, there's Sony branding on both sides of the headphones. And you also notice these really cool bass vents on the ear cups. On the left ear cup, you'll find 2 buttons and the Type-C charging port, along with a headphone jack, so you can use these headphones wired as well. Now, one of these buttons is the power button, but the other button is a little bit more interesting. You can actually use that button to trigger a voice assistant, but I'll talk about that a little later on. You'll also notice a tiny microphone pinhole here. You'll see another microphone pinhole on the right ear cup as well. But the interesting thing about the right ear cup is this entire flat surface, which is completely touch sensitive. In fact, just like the XM3, the flat surface of the right ear cup has touch enabled pads. It's just one large solid piece, so there's no different sections like on the XM3. What this means is that you can basically swipe up or down to increase or decrease volume, you can swipe right or left to skip a track, and you can double tap in the center to pause music. Of course, you can also tap in the center of these headphones to answer a phone call or end a phone call. But my favorite feature has to be the quick attention mode. This feature is actually really helpful and will automatically silence or lower the volume of whatever you're listening to so you can hear what's going on around you. All you have to do is just cover the right ear cup with the palm of your hand. This feature is actually really handy if you're like me and you wear headphones in the office or in a cafe somewhere when you're working. Yeah, so these gestures take a little bit of getting used to, but you'll either find them super useful or super frustrating. But either way, they're cool to have, I guess. Alright, speaking of which, remember that dedicated button I was talking about? So Sony allows you to choose between Google Assistant or Amazon's Alexa as your voice assistant of choice on your phone. Now you can choose to have this button for a digital voice assistant, or you can also use this button to cycle between the different noise cancellation modes. Not that there's too many noise cancellation modes, there's actually only 2 on these headphones. There's an ambient noise cancellation mode where the noise cancellation is slightly tuned down, but you can hear what's going on around you. And then the second mode is obviously the full-on noise cancellation. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of digital assistants on my phone, which is weird because at home I have a Google Home and I use Alexa on my Amazon Echo. But on a phone, I've never really found them quick enough or helpful enough. So I might not really like this particular feature, but if you are a big fan of Google Assistant or Amazon's Alexa, here you go. You can trigger them right from one button on your headphones. I should also mention that you can use these headphones in wired mode and with the noise cancellation switched off as well. The only real advantage to this is battery life because audio quality doesn't really change that much. And lastly, I should also mention that these headphones actually fold up, which makes it a lot easier to store or carry them around. You might have also noticed in my unboxing video the nice little pouch that you get to carry these headphones around in. Alright, coming to comfort. Sony has done a fantastic job on nailing comfort on the 900N. Just like the more premium XM3, there's a very cushy headband and super soft, very sturdy ear pads that have a around the ear fit. The headband in particular has a good amount of tension, with the headphones feeling nice and secure around your ears, so there's a good amount of noise isolation to help with the noise cancellation. The headphones also weigh a very light 254 grams, so even after wearing them for a couple of hours, you won't feel like they're pinching your brain or anything. That being said, I will mention that it's been a little humid where I've been living for the last couple of days. And if you live in a very humid place, you will get a little bit of moisture building up between the ear cups and your ears. So you might want to take a break every couple of hours. But essentially the 900N is really best suited for travel, whether it's your daily commute to the office and back, or it's a train or subway ride. In any of these situations, you could very comfortably wear the 900N for a couple of hours with no problem. Alright, speaking of which, let's talk about sound quality. The Sony 900N headphones are powered by 40mm dynamic drivers with a frequency response rate of about 20 to 40,000 Hz when used with Sony's own high quality LDAC codec at about 990 kbps. They connect over Bluetooth 4.2, but there's support for a whole bunch of other Bluetooth audio codecs. This is something that Sony does that most other headphone companies don't do, and it's much appreciated. There's support for AAC, SBC, aptX, aptX HD, and LDAC codecs. Of course, if you're going to use these headphones with just an iPhone or an iPad, then it'll only use the AAC codec. But if you're using it with an Android phone or anything that has better source equipment, you'll get to try out the additional codec support, which definitely helps with a better listening experience. Like for example, if you use these with the OnePlus 7 Pro, you'll get to use the LDAC or aptX HD codecs. Gotta love that OnePlus 7 Pro. Moving on, let's talk about how good that noise cancellation is. Now the 900N does not have the same QN1 noise cancellation chip that's used on the flagship XM3. So just like most other headphones here, the DAC has to handle noise cancellation duties as well. So these won't be as impressive as the XM3 noise cancellation for sure, because that also customizes the noise cancellation for atmospheric pressure when you're on a plane, but it still does a really good job. Once you switch on that noise cancellation, all those annoying sounds around you in the background just kind of fade away. Granted, it's not as silencing as the XM3, but it's definitely one of the best in this price range. Now, I'm not really sure if you caught this, but the XB in XB900N stands for extra bass. There's very prominent branding on the box itself just to mentally prepare you for this. As a result, the XM900N is more suited for bass-heavy music tracks that have a lot more thump to them. If you're a fan of EDM or hip-hop or very bass-heavy pop music, then you're probably going to love the audio quality of these headphones. But if you don't listen to a lot of bass pounding tracks, then you might find the audio quality a little exhausting. Luckily, there's good news here as well. Sony has a Headphones Connect app for Android and iOS which lets you tweak the equalizer settings. So you can change the default bass-heavy equalizer to a completely different soundstage. The Sony Headphones Connect app also lets you tweak more settings for the headphones, including the equalizer, adaptive sound control, ambient sound control, and Sony's DSEE sound enhancement system, and a bunch of other settings as well. Like I mentioned earlier, you can also use these headphones to handle phone calls, and the microphone quality is really good. Overall though, I'm a really big fan of the audio tuning here on these headphones, but then again, I'm all about that bass. That thumpy bass is really tight and resonates really well in these headphones. There's clean, clear audio coming through across the frequency range, and vocals are very crisp as well. Of course, if you listen to a lot of softer instrumental or acoustic genres of music, you will have to tweak things in Sony's Headphones app instead. Alright, lastly, let's talk about battery life. The Sony XB900N boasts a massive 30 hours of battery life, with noise cancellation switched on. This is pretty much exactly like the XM3, which is a lot more premium and a lot more expensive. And according to my tests, it's actually pretty spot on as well. Not only is this exactly like the much more premium XM3, but it's also very accurate as well. I used these during writing and video editing sessions and cafes while I was working for about 3 to 4 hours a day. And I used them for an entire week before I even got a low battery warning. That's just freaking awesome. And even more awesome, it charges over USB Type-C. Honestly, it's 2019. I'm happy to see more and more things charged with USB Type-C now. Finally. So a big thumbs up for me. Way to go, Sony. Coming to charging specifically, a 10-minute charge on these headphones will give you about an hour's worth of battery life, but a full charge would take about 3 to 4 hours, which is not too great but not too bad either, considering the kind of battery life you're getting out of these headphones. Alright, time for the CJ verdict. And here it is. The Sony XB900N is totally worth the price. I mean, sure, I wish Sony came up with better model numbers because saying that name is quite annoying. But honestly, these headphones are great for the price. It has sound quality that rivals headphones that cost a lot more, and that coupled with the solid noise cancellation makes this a really great buy at this price point. Now remember, the audio tuning does tend to be a little bass heavy, so if you like that kind of music, you're set. No problems at all. But if you're not a big fan of that, you will have to use Sony's Headphones app to handle that. But then again, if you want the best audio quality, you will probably want to save up and get the Sony XM3 instead. But honestly, at this price point, as an all-around package, there's just no beating the Sony 900N. There's great battery life, good audio drivers, support for a whole bunch of Bluetooth audio codecs. I really actually think that Sony might have another winner on their hands. Definitely recommend it. This is going to be the pair of headphones that I recommend in this price point for a while now. Alright guys, so that's what I think of the Sony XB900N noise cancelling headphones. As always, if you guys have any questions about these headphones, please let me know right in the comment section below, or you can just hit me up directly on Instagram or Twitter at ClintonJeff. And as always, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button right below, or maybe subscribe if you want to get more tech videos from me. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.